there's a trailer, and it combines the two things that we mainly talk about on this show, which is visual media, be it TV shows or movies, and video games. Now, this trailer is for Super Mario, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. What in the name of God do you think about this? Are you excited? More excited, less excited, or kind of the same after this?
So before I answer your question, which would just be the easy thing to do, I just want to say that...
It really would be the easy thing to do.
It really would be, but I never played by the rules. The thing that annoyed me the most about this trailer, it's got nothing to do with the voice, and we'll get to that. It was just Chris Pratt, like, doing the kind of video bit beforehand, saying, like, yeah, you know, when I was younger, I would play Mario... And, you know, I remember going to the arcades and playing the original Mario Bros. And I'd stomp a Koopa. And I was there in my brain just like, wait, no. Stomping and Goombas, that was not in the original Mario Bros, you lying son of a bitch. And then I was thinking, like, you know what? He probably has played, like, the original Super Mario Bros. Back in, like, 1985, 1986. He just probably got the two confused. I would imagine he's not played a Mario game since. I find it a little bit extreme for him to be saying that, you know, it's my dream to play Mario, but hey, you got to sell to the audience and, you know, he's got to sell the shticks or whatever. In terms of the trailer, I liked everything about it other than Mario's voice. It was interesting, right? So you've got, like, there's kind of two lines from Jack Black. You get the first line with Bowser, where it's got that kind of rough, ready, like, and you're like, hey, that sounds like Bowser. That's pretty cool. And then he does the next line. It's like, oh, wait, no, that's just Jack Black. That is just Jack Black. So, cool. All right, I guess we're doing that.
When I heard it announced, I just assumed that Jack Black would be being an insanely hyped-up version of himself, and that's kind of what it sounds like.
Keegan-Michael Kay as Toad is probably going to steal the show.
Yes.
The very, like, the half a second we got of Luigi huffing and puffing and whatnot, I was like, well, that's definitely Charlie Day. I can tell that from a mile away.
I mean, that is the most picture-perfect casting of the lot. Is Charlie Day is such a Luigi. He has got Luigi energy coming out of the eyeballs.
And, yeah, look, I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to the voice that Chris Pratt has gone for, it's almost like, why did we even bother? And, you know, like, we've been saying from the get-go in terms of the casting.
Yeah, I don't know if Chris Pratt, like, does he bring more people into this movie? I often wonder that, you know, when they have a big animated movie, do the people that star in it bring the people in, or does the sort of animated premise of the movie bring people in? So if you've got like a Pixar film, yeah, you don't really need... I don't think you really necessarily need big ticket actors, because the name brand itself is what brings people in. I think if you've got the Super Mario movie, the name recognition of Mario is what is bringing people in, and the morbid curiosity to see if it's going to be a better version than what Bob Hoskins, God rest his soul, as we know, the unofficial Link to the Cast champion actor of all actors, Bob Hoskins. Is it going to be better performance than what he managed to deliver in the Mario movie all those years ago? Or, really, is it Chris Pratt? I don't think it is Chris Pratt. Just give it Charles Martinet to the end of the season, right? There's no reason to get Chris Pratt. You could have had Chris Pratt do any of the other things, but to me, the identity of Mario is so just deadly aligned to Charles Martinet over the years that it would make so much more sense. It's almost like I want them to shoot the movie with Charles Martinet doing all the lines, and they can release the Chris Pratt version, but then there's a DVD extra or Blu-ray extra,
like Milli Vanilli or something. But
exactly,
with,
like they just have Charles Martinet do it and see if it's a better movie. Because
I think the thing though, like you talk about the Bob Hoskins thing there, and it's like it's a little bit different because, you know, I'm looking at Bob Hoskins playing Mario, and it's like, all right, whatever, it's Bob Hoskins, fine. But here it's like,
hang on a second. Do not disparage Bob Hoskins.
No, I'm not. That's not my point. That's not my point. I'm not disparaging the late great Bob Hoskins. I'm just saying I'm looking at Bob Hoskins, therefore I expect to hear Bob Hoskins. Where in this, I'm looking at Mario and, you know, I expect to hear Charles Martinet, which obviously isn't going to happen. That's not to say that Chris Pratt should have tried to do his best Charles Martinet impression, but then he just can't. At the end of it, it's like, well, why are we doing this even in the first place then? And I think actually the thing that's as strange as just the voice is the fact that this is the first time we've seen that much facial expression from Mario, because obviously, you know, he's not a character that talks or says that many lines. So his expression for the most part is limited. So that actually, even before Chris Pratt started talking, that kind of threw me off. It's like, oh yeah, I guess we're going to get like a lot of like facial expression from Mario, and that in itself is kind of a weird thing. So yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But like in terms of the actual trailer as well, it looks beautiful. It's Illumination, and you know, I'm sure it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, I don't know if it got me more excited for the movie, because I think I was morbidly curious in the first place. And I didn't necessarily see anything in the trailer that made me super hyped up in a way that I wasn't before. I think the whole section of Bowser and the penguins was a knockout. I think that was really fun, and it's one of those things where, you know, if you're a parent taking a kid to see an animated movie this weekend and that trailer comes up and that first sort of like minute and a half of Bowser versus the penguins is on the screen, I think they're getting excited to go and see the Mario movie. And it's probably only people like us who associate, again, Charles Martinet with Mario, who aren't really going to be fussed who's voicing it. They'll just go and see it because it's going to be kid friendly and fun and an animated movie to go and check out. So yeah, all in all, good trailer. See what happens next, but it's still quite a way away, isn't it? We're still like, is it early 2023 it comes out?
It is April. So I've got release dates for France, United States, and Japan, but we'll go with the US, and that's April the 7th, 2023. So yeah, we're about 6 months or so away. Look, I expect that this will do gangbusters. I expect this will do as much, if not maybe more, than Sonic. Because I imagine like this will no, because I guess Sonic Sega is still like very much in Japan as well. So I don't know.
And those Sonic movies, neither of them were bad. They were both pretty alright.
They're totally fine, totally serviceable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of want Mario to be better than that, though, really, don't you? You want it to be above,
you always do.
Serviceable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the textures. And it is weird to see like a hyper-realised Mario like this.
I think that's actually going to be the thing. I'm probably just from a visual like aesthetic or a visual perspective, I'm going to find a lot of the film just weird because I'm so used to seeing Mario through the lens of like video game animation. Whereas like, you know, Sonic has been pushed and pulled and torn apart and thrown through the ringer through so many different kind of visual mediums at this point that like just any kind of form of Sonic or any version of Sonic, I'm not going to find that weird, other than obviously like the original movie version of him with teeth. That was going too far. But Mario has been kind of, for the most part, kind of generated in a very specific way over the years, where like this is just a very like such a new version of him, like a film version of him that. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. Like it's gonna take me a while to get adjusted to it. Like when I see it in the cinema, and then I have to deal with Chris Pratt's voice as well. Which, yes, he has a little bit of a Brooklyn twang going on, but it's fucking Chris Pratt.
It's just Chris Pratt though. Chris Pratt is just being Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
In the movie, so yeah, we'll see.